Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 27 of Really Fake, and this one is titled Bokuto the Great. Kuroo-san? He just called him Kuroo-san. Does he know him? You thought, as you leaned forward with interest. It's the horned owl bastard, Kuroo teased as he popped a hand on his hip and relaxed his stance. Ha ha! Bokuto laughed loudly. You only call me that because you know I'm going to beat you today. Don't think so, Kuroo stated calmly. I've got my girl in the stands today, so luck is on my side. Bokuto looked up into the stands, and you gave him a small wave. Heart aflutter that Kuroo had so openly stated that you were his, and that you were there. Bokuto grunted, quickly turning and striding back to his team. Jealous? Kuroo called after him, cupping his hand to his mouth to project his voice. Bokuto ignored him and huffed back to his team, a lot more on edge after that exchange with Kuroo. You watched curiously as your man glanced up at you and then smirked and walked over to Kenma and mentioned something to him, causing the shorter player to look around at his team captain and up to you in the stands. What is this scheming captain up to now? You thought with an internal chuckle as you tried to ignore your pa's overtly sexual comments to Miss Marple. After a few more minutes, the game started and the Nakoma team were the first to serve, sending a fastball into the Fukurodani team before setting up to receive and send it back. Bokuto was quiet as he stepped around the court, watching to see where he could spike the ball to the Nakoma team, and his teammates set him up as he hurriedly jumped and smashed it right into the palm of Kuroo's hand. You could see that he was visibly annoyed at being shut out, and he stormed to the back of the court to wait for the next rally to start, jerking his arms to loosen them up before the next round. Kuroo looked up at you and smiled, and you cupped your hands to your mouth and shouted encouragement at him, which he returned with a proud wave, glancing slyly across at Bokuto. The next rally started, and Nakoma seemed to be working really well together. Their plays were as fluid as ever, and the Fukurodani captain, who you assumed was the team's main spiker, was starting to get more and more flustered that he couldn't land a good hit. Suddenly the whistle blew, and Fukurodani were called in by their coach for a little time out. Kuroo quickly motioned to you to shout something to him, so you did so, picking up that this was somehow part of his plan. You got this, Kuroo! You called loudly. Smash 'em, Tet! Your pa added in a strained elderly voice, wanting to be included in the encouragement. Woo! Miss Marple sung, and you scrunched your nose at her poor effort. Kuroo gave you a sly thumbs up, and you smirked. What's he doing? You wondered. Your eyes flicked back to the Fukurodani team, and something had happened in that time that you'd been looking at Kuroo. It looked like their captain was very disheartened. No, wait, was he sulking? If you're gonna be like that, then we can just play without you, one of the other teammates said sternly. That guy looks like a really tired mother that's sick of her 2-year-old's tantrums, you thought, referring to the teammate who had just spoken to Bokuto. The team resumed, and for some strange reason Bokuto hung back and all the balls were set to other teammates. Even Bokuto's spiked hair seemed to have drooped to match his mood. Nakoma scored again and again until they had a runaway lead, and you looked across to Fukurodani to glean some answers. What has happened with Fukurodani? You wondered, genuinely confused at how this loud outgoing captain had all of a sudden gone insanely quiet. Slowly but surely, Bokuto started to get restless, and it looked like he was trying to get the tired mother-looking setter to know that he was ready to get back into the game again. Akashi, he said meekly, as he walked over during a small break in the game. I can win this next one. I hope so, the guy named Akashi replied, because they're watching you. He added, as he pointed to a group of blushing girls that were hiding behind the concrete wall of the front row spectator seats. Bokuto looked up at them, and they giggled and ducked down a little, so flustered that he had seen them that they couldn't even manage a little wave. They've come to see the great Bokuto play, and have been watching you closely this whole time, Akashi stated. They would call out and encourage you like Kuroo's girlfriend has been doing, but they're too shy, he added. Bokuto stood up tall and puffed his chest out proudly as he held both fists up in the air, beaming from ear to ear at the group of cowering girls. Hey, hey, hey! He called loudly. Well, if they've come to see me in action, then that's what they're gonna get. Akashi sighed and looked back at the other teammates, nodding to them behind Bokuto's back. Hey, one teammate called. Are they your girlfriends, Bokuto? Wow, another added in a dead voice. How lucky to have 3 girls silently cheering for you. Bokuto is amazing, the third commented. Yes, I am, aren't I? Bokuto replied, spinning around and pointing his thumb to his chest. Your captain's gonna bring it home today. Watch me wow the crowd. Yay! The three teammates deadpan cheered as Bokuro called out his signature, "Hey, hey, hey!" What on earth? You thought with an internal chuckle, amused at the dynamics of the Fukurodani team. The game resumed again, and Nakoma kept their streak going, but Bokuro was definitely giving them a run for their money now. But by the time the match was over, Nakoma had won, and you screamed with joy as the final ball landed on the Fukurodani side. "Is it finished?" Miss Marple asked as she stood up sharply and wiggled her hips as she shimmied her skirt hem down a little bit. "Come on, honey pie, let's go." "Oh!" Your pa wobbled as he struggled to get out of his chair. "Love, I invited Tit and Yin to join us on a double date tonight. Oh, I thought I told you before, but maybe I forgot." "Oh, sugar, can we do it another time?" Miss Marple pouted childishly. "I just want some alone time with you tonight," she added, batting her eyelashes as she dragged a manicured finger down over the one balloon-sized breast. "Oh," Pa hummed softly, his eyes being sucked into her cleavage. "My princess, I would really love it if we could double date tonight. Tit won his match and all, and I want to give him some good tucker after his match." "If you insist," she huffed, clearly displeased with his decision. "You're paying." "Oh, I see who she is," you thought with a very visible scowl. Well, we'll see what happens in chapter 28 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.